just messed up the intro. 1 second. That's it. What's going on, everybody? Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us for anything and everything rock and roll. Of course, with a little bit of ADD. I'm Zach.
I'm TJ.
And I'm Robin.
And you're listening to Rock Detention.
I don't feel tardy.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Always good, man. How you doing?
Tired.
Tired?
You can't
So
be tired
good.
of this show, bro. That's rule number one.
Hey, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm ready to go, but I'm still like I'm still also tired at the same time. But all for good reasons. So.
Oh. Someone in town?
Ha 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 ha. Not till this weekend. No. The Elephant Room here in Austin has opened back up. So thank God.
What's the Elephant Room, y'all?
It is a.
I mean,
it's
Robin?
Unlike this podcast, it's not a rock venue, unfortunately. It is it's a jazz venue that my family works with and has since. I mean, like there's pictures of me like crawling on the bar stools when I was like 2 or 3 years old. So it's like a second home for me. So we're finally open back up after the pandemic. So yeah.
Congrats, man. That's exciting.
If we did the podcast from there, you could say we're the elephant in the room.
Yeah, we would be the elephant in the room, definitely, because we'd be
at the elephant room.
Yeah, we'd be the odd one out.
I really enjoy what you just said, TJ. That was lame. That was like Robin-esque. But
yeah, I know.
TJ, I'm wearing off on you, TJ. I'm wearing off on you.
Oof, it's not good. Well, 39 episodes in.
Dude, it happens. Well, I mean, I've been playing country metal, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit more country in the last couple of weeks.
You're doing something pretty cool this weekend.
On FS1, televised.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me what it was. TJ had to explain that to me. Yeah, I'm tune into Fox this weekend, folks. I'm playing a motorcycle race with Cody Parks in the Dirty South, and supposedly I'm doing the national anthem, and it's gonna be on TV. So you might see me. Hey, Mom. That's all I got for you, Robin.
Can you please do that? Like when you go up to play the national anthem, just right before you play, just get the mic and be like, "Hi, Mom." Just start playing the national anthem.
I don't think they're gonna give me a mic, but I can like walk over to the speaker cabinet and bend down at the 412. Like, is this thing on? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Dude, TJ, you're going on what, week 5 or 6 now?
Yeah.
In your new place?
Haven't been kicked out yet.
I know. That's congrats, dude. Those are big. That's a big accomplishment, man.
Still get to do the podcast too. I mean,
I know.
She hasn't taken that away from you?
No.
God.
You're a lucky man.
So far, so good.
Well, that is fantastic. So who we got going on this week? What's the POD?
Well, I know you guys are familiar because we had Brian on once, Great Moon, a while ago.
Brian HBK.
That's the one of Hairball, the great bombastic celebration of rock and roll, and many things you could say about him, but it's up our alley, the 80s. And I don't know how you introduce greatness, but we have one of the many personas and one of the lead singers of Hairball, Mr. Dave Moody himself.
Woo! What's up, Dave?
How you youngins doing?
Always good, man.
Good.
Your view looks a little better than ours.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it doesn't suck.
Is that a lake behind you?
It is.
Dang.
It is.
See, folks?
It's Lake Joe Dandy. So
Lake
I'm at
Joe
and
Dandy.
Tanya's house. Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'm gonna say that you might be the guest with the best background.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
By far.
Why wouldn't you want that? That's gorgeous. Look at that bridge.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. They got their own little island and all kinds of good stuff going on back there. So it's a lot of fun. I just saw somebody fly over. I can't even explain it. They had a parachute, like a parasail, and it was one of those things that you sit in with the wheels.
Paraglider, I think is what they're called.
Paraglider.
Yeah.
I just saw 2 of them go over. Never seen them in my life, and I just saw 2.
There you go.
So
Wow.
So are you there playing a gig or just taking a vacation?
No, this is where I stay when I'm in town. I'm from Cincinnati, so so whenever I'm in town, I'll stay here with Joe and Tanya, or I'll go over to Chainsaw's house.
Nice.
Or I'll go wherever anybody is not tired of seeing me, that's where I'll go.
Touche.
I'm kind of homeless because I live in Cincinnati and I have to commute up here. I've been here for 11 days. It'll be 17 by the time I go home. So
how many shows in that time?
What was that?
How many shows will you play in those 17 days?
I think we've done, I don't know. I think it's like about 8, maybe.
Wow.
About 8. I think that we will have done. I'm not sure. It just goes by like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many venues is this at? Are they at? Is this all in one spot?
No. This varies. Like we go to different places. Like we just did a 4-day run. We were in, oh God, where were we? We were in a lot of places. I can't remember where we went, but we did 4 shows, 4 in a row, and I can't remember everywhere we went. It was just like a blur. We did a show with Ron Keel. Ronnie, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. If you're watching, Ron Keel's so awesome. And then we did Elko Speedway. We did St. Michael. We did Kicking Up Country. I'm not sure where that is. I don't know where anything is, so I just get on the bus and roll. So but we did 4 in a row, and we did Oshkosh, which is that one that you said that's a big crowd. So that was probably about 5,000 people there at that one. So that was a good show, but it got rained about halfway through, so it kind of sucked.
Man, I can totally vouch for you. I know what it's like on the road, and you wake up and don't know what city you're in, and people are like, "Where are you?" I don't really know. I'll go into the gas station and ask.
Where are we right now? Look at that dumb look of just like, what do you mean, where are we? You have a phone with a GPS.
Well, I used to know, but whenever I joined this band, all the responsibilities I had in my previous existence are no longer there. So I kind of like that. I kind of like not knowing where I'm at. And, waking up and
Same.
wherever I end up is wherever I end up. It doesn't really matter.
Touche. Man, you're living the life, man. You folks, you too could be a lead singer and have a background like this. Look at that background, man. And dude, 5,000 seat. I mean, dude, I've seen famous 80s bands, huge, not play to 5,000 people recently. This is incredible what y'all are doing.
Well, it speaks to the product that they've built over a 21-year career. I mean, Hairball is the real deal. Whenever they called me to join, I was totally humbled by that. And it's an amazing product that they built with an incredible fan base, and the people are just so passionate about the show. The show's an over-the-top experience. It's with characters in full costumes, with the mannerisms, and the music is spot on, and the performances are spot on, and it's fun, and it's got pyro, and you got 5 LED screens and bombs and smoke and lasers. You got locusts, midgets. It's all great. It's all good.
So do y'all travel with the pyro and all that?
I don't know if you could say midgets anymore.
We're not on cable TV, so whatever.
Oh, I'll say midgets.
So, do y'all travel with that production, or is
correct?
God,
we have a 53-foot semi stuffed with gear and with production, and you're talking curved truss with 5 huge LED screens behind us.
Oh, TJ sent us a bunch of videos. It's
Looks
unreal,
incredible.
man.
Sounds incredible through the phone.
It really is. It's very much an arena show. There's no two ways about it. This production feels very comfortable in any arena you could put it in. It would be fine in any 15, 20,000 seat arena, no problem. This would be that production.
Wow.
So I had friends asking me to describe Hairball, and I was like, they kept going like, are they a cover band? I'm like, no. I mean, yes, by technical terms, yes, but it's much bigger than that. Like, you guys are much more than just a regular run-of-the-mill cover band that's just, a really tight band that's playing, at the bar down the street kind of a thing. You know, this is
Correct.
It's like a tribute show on steroids.
Correct.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You nailed it 100%. Like I said, the amount of detail that they put into things. There's a dedicated person for everything. You have a dedicated guitar tech, a dedicated drum tech. You got a dedicated lighting guy. You got a dedicated monitor guy in front of the house. You got stage hands. You got everything that you would possibly want. And they load it in and set it up, and it's an amazing process. I mean, literally, it is a full-blown arena rock show with pyro. They spend $2,000 a night on pyro alone. It's just over the top, out of control. When the show starts, you know it. You hear it from about 10 blocks away.
Damn.
Because it blows up everything. It's like boom, 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 you know, and then it's just amazing. I mean, whenever the first show that I did with them, you know, I wasn't aware, you know, because we didn't do any testing or anything. It was just one of those things where we just, you know, we went out and we did it, and the show started, and I was like, I got startled very much so, because I hadn't been used to the pyro. Now
Sure.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool, the show's starting. But initially I was like, holy shit.
So,
but it's pretty awesome.
So before Hairball, what were you doing? Were you singing? You said you had a previous, you know, all the things that you had to take care of in a previous life or whatever, you know. So what were you doing before Hairball?
I was I've done many different things, but the one that they plucked me out of was a AC/DC tribute called Thunderstruck, America's AC/DC. And we toured around the country. We had a national brand, much like Hairball. We did 120 shows over about 42 states. We did 55,000 miles in 2019 alone before the pandemic. So we did a large amount of work before the pandemic, and even during the pandemic, we got 60 shows in. But we toured around the United States, and in that band, I was like the booking guy. I was the driver. I was the band manager. I was the accountant. I was the, whatever to be done. I was the guy.
Damn.
And then whenever I'm playing Hairball, I'm just a singer. So
that's gotta be nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. But yeah, it's Thunderstruck, America's AC/DC is what I did before. But I've done so many things in my career that spans over 35 years. So it's a pretty lengthy resume.
Wow. I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
So, are there like dedicated office people that like run the show?
Yes.
Okay, so are these like older cats that grew up in the 80s and are just trying to keep the 80s alive, or like what's the dynamic with management? Are they suits, or are they one of us?
Well, they're one of us for sure. It's Chainsaw Kane from Slave Raider, who is like the booking agent and one of the owners of Hairball, and he works with his daughter Danielle, and of course with Happy, and a couple other people to keep this machine on the road. But they do a stellar job of keeping the band booked and putting us in places where we can succeed and bring this bigger rock show to people. So yeah, it's a whole team of people that are dedicated to their jobs so they can do their jobs at the highest level to which they can do them. So it's not just, you're not spread out in different places.
Sure.
Their idea is so everybody can be at their best doing the one thing that they do best. So that's their idea. It works out great, and they've done a wonderful job for 21 years, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. You know,
that makes me very happy. So you're traveling with an 18-wheeler. Are you also are you all in a sleeper bus?
Correct. We have a Prevost. We have a full-size Prevost bus, 53 foot. And it's pretty awesome, yeah. And it's been a minute since I've been back on a Prevost. I have traveled on them before, but it's good to get back on one, and it's a nice one.
Sure. That's incredible.
They do everything absolutely correct. I mean, the band does everything correct, and you know, as you said just a moment ago about your career and everything, we're blessed. We're very thankful, and we're grateful for what we have. But we work very hard for it, and those guys have definitely put in the time and the effort to get to where they're at. There's skimped on nothing and wasted nothing, trying to get to where they're at. And it's all a great thing. So when you come to the show, that they've put every bit of their effort towards getting you a good time that evening. Pretty awesome.
Of course, man. I can't wait to see y'all. As soon as I can figure out a time to get up north, I definitely want to book it around one of y'all shows.
You're welcome anytime. Come on out. Just give me a call. I'll take care of it.
I appreciate it, man. TJ, we're coming to see you, homie.
Yep.
Hey, I'm down. They're actually not going to be You're not going to be back in Minnesota for Twin Cities area for a little bit. You're kind of doing a little jaunt here, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to Brainerd tomorrow for the Lakes show. I forget the title of the event.
I think Lakes Jam.
Lakes Jam, correct. Thank you so much. Lakes Jam tomorrow.
I thought you were being funny, TJ.
No, that's actually what it's called.
The Lake Show. Oh, Lake Jam.
Lakes Jam. Yeah. So we're doing that. We're doing that tomorrow, and then we got a 2-day run to Johnsontown, Pennsylvania, for Thunder in the Valley. So that's going to be a good run. And then the following week, I think there's another one in Duluth, which is the big Bay Fest. I'm not familiar with the handles they use on some of these festivals, but I know it's a big one, and they say there's about 10,000 people that come to that one or whatever. It's out like in an amphitheater, out in a green space. So it's supposed to be like one of their funnest shows. They say they look forward to that one really every year. It's their big 4th of July festivity. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But again, we're doing, I think, let's see here. I think we're doing like 15 shows or 16 shows in July. We'll do like 22 or 23 shows in August. We're going to Sturgis this year. I think they've been there about, I don't want to say 10 years in a row. They do 4 or 5 nights. I keep saying they. I need to stop saying they and saying we. Doing Sturgis again this year, and I'm looking forward to that. I love the people of South Dakota, so that's a great place to go, especially during Sturgis. There's just so many things. I mean, the calendar is fully booked, and we're all the way back, man. The pandemic is over. I mean, we're elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, spilling beer, singing songs, and it's wonderful to be back. It's fun to look out at the crowd and see everybody happy again.
Sure.
So
Oh, I missed that last part. Did y'all hear that?
Nope.
Are you there?
Yeah.
It just cut out for a second.
I just said it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
Right on.
So we got a viewer question.
Sure.
So they want to know because with Hairball, you're not the sole lead singer. There's several guys that are singing lead, but you're all tributing and impersonating other famous singers. Who specifically do you impersonate in the show? Or
I do Dee Snider. I do Dee Snider. I do Tom Kiefer.
Okay.
I do of Cinderella. I do Kevin DeBro of Quiet Riot.
Oh,
and
nice.
I do Brian Johnson of AC/DC, of course.
Yeah.
So, and we'll be adding characters as they go.
Okay.
So, as we move along and I get more and more comfortable with these characters, then we'll add more to it, and that'll free up more space, to diversify the show.
Yeah. Man, I finally heard because Brian Johnson singing in AC/DC is one thing, and then Brian Johnson singing elsewhere and other things, he sounds completely different. And I finally heard a recording of him singing kind of what would be, I guess you would consider his normal voice, just kind of singing like he talks. And it took me a second to be like, oh, that's Brian Johnson. Like,
right.
It's really weird.
He's actually a crooner.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to go back to his early days, he's a singer.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely brilliant. I tell anybody, man, you want to challenge yourself, give yourself some Brian Johnson, because he's challenging as it gets, and a brilliant singer. To this day, he's still brilliant.
And he's Sting had an album that came out a few years ago called The Last Ship, and Brian Johnson's the guest vocalist on that.
Heard it. Yep.
Besides the fact that that's just a phenomenal album, that was the album I was sitting there going like, why do I know this voice? This voice sounds really familiar to me, and I'm like, but not at the same time. And then I finally looked it up, and I was like, oh my god, it's Brian Johnson. So that was it's a kind of like it's almost like it's like a pub song that they're all singing. So it's like in this round kind of a thing, because there's several other singers. So you've got Sting and then like a bunch of other guys, and then Brian Johnson sings like the last verse of this pub song thing. And so it's not a place that my brain was like, oh yeah, Brian Johnson would be a guest vocalist on a song like this. So
yeah, him and Sting are apparently really good friends.
Yeah.
And I remember reading about that, and he had called him and asked him to be on the song.
Yeah.
And he said he'd written a song specifically with him in mind, which is pretty crazy if you think about it, because you can't get much different than the Police and AC/DC.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot different, reggae and hard rock, but it worked. It was a good song. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, the whole album's really great. But yeah, that song was really stuck out to me. Because I also didn't know until recently that Brian Johnson is not Australian.
No, he's
yeah.
He's from Geordie, actually. He's a Geordie boy.
Okay.
Over there in England. Yeah. So he's definitely he's a rough and tumble kind of guy. Comes from the mean streets of Geordie.
Yeah.
So yeah, and hence the name of the band. Yeah. So he's his band before AC/DC was called Geordie. So if you get a chance to go, you want to hear him sing the way he sang before AC/DC. Google Geordie, and that's with a G, and type in House of the Rising Sun and listen to him sing that. It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing.
The more you know. Hell yeah.
How many people are y'all touring with, like crew and band wise?
Well, I think altogether, I think there's 13 of us, maybe 14. I can't remember.
Dang. And the bus sleeps 14?
Some like sometimes the front of the house guy, Sean or Hat as he's known, will drive to the gig or fly to the gig, because he'll have production from another show the night before or something, and he'll meet us in the town that we're playing. But by and large, I think we have 12 people on the bus. But if you count the driver, who's a full-time driver, like I said, everybody's a dedicated person. So that would be 13. Yeah, so it's 14 altogether.
And do y'all, whenever you get to the venue, like the arenas, do y'all work with the union? Like, are there hands there to help y'all, or do y'all do it all in house?
Union? No,
shoot.
Not that I'm aware of. I've never really had to deal with that. Now, that's not to say that in certain instances, this is a bigger production. This is an arena production. So, I would not be surprised that there were times when there were union hands and that we did have to deal with that. But again, it's not something that I spend time on.
Sure.
I'll wake up and grab some breakfast and get me a coffee, walk the deck, and then go, maybe go for a walk around the city and hang out until sound check, and then do sound check. So that's my life at that point. So I wouldn't be shocked if there was some sort of union hands that we had to deal with, or union crews, if you will, that we had to deal with. But yeah, that could very well be. But I'm not privy to that, so
right on.
It doesn't concern me.
I'm a tech nerd, so I love all aspects. I love being on stage. I love lighting. I love every part of production, including performance and production. So that's why I ask nerdy questions.
All those. It's all good, man. I'll answer any question you got. I'll answer it if I've got it. If I don't, I'll lie about it. We'll figure it out later.
That.
There you go. Fake it till you make it.
So you said you're from Cincinnati, but you got a Steelers hat on. Big Steelers fan?
No, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I got a Steelers hat on. I live in Cincinnati. but I'm a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I wear something Steelers every day. I meet up with it. I have been since I was a little kid. I grew up, in the 70s, watching the Steelers play and win this thing called the Super Bowl. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, well, the Vikings haven't, so.
Yeah. Well, they've been 4 times. I do know that. But yeah, I love my pro football, man. It's the best thing ever to me.
Yeah, these guys aren't. They say go sports, but
Yeah,
We
I
just-
don't like sports.
We just got a football stadium here in Austin.
Well,
That
Are you
wasn't
tough?
funny, Robin.
Oh,
That wasn't funny at all.
it's great. It's absolutely funny. We got our first. Austin just got their first professional
MLS.
team, so soccer team.
Oh, soccer.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on soccer.
I love watching all sports, but man, they are
You mean actual
That's
football?
notorious floppers. It's so funny. It's just like,
Okay,
oh, man.
that is one thing.
Harry,
That is
We're
one
gonna
thing.
go down that road. You're gonna go down that road.
That is one thing. So my girlfriend's a soccer player and a big soccer nut, and so she's kind of gotten me into the sport a little bit. And that's one thing that we both just like absolutely agree on. It's like male soccer players just flop way too much.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this will take a left real quick if
Wait
we
a
go
minute.
that and we start talking.
No pun intended. Are we
Yeah.
talking about the flop that I think you're talking about?
No, were they like
I'm
fake
not-
getting
I'm
injured?
not-
Oh!
Oh wow. Okay, Zach.
That's why I never became a pro soccer player, because I never
I thought
flopped.
you
So
were going somewhere else with that. Never mind.
and cancel the MLS coming on the show. Not that it was gonna happen, but
Hey, you never
Good
know.
Lord.
We could find an MLS
Hey.
player that's a musician.
It's not that
True.
I'm not. I think sports are fine. I don't follow it. I play guitar. I'm into music.
That's
I'll
cool.
talk. I go to concerts every night. So
There's
That's-
nothing wrong with any of that.
The only sport.
That's a good.
it's good to be able to go to concerts every night again,
The only
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the only
or at least have the ability to.
the only sport that I actively
Very
follow
good.
is F1. That's it. So.
So you're in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Okay, I played a place there not too long ago called Come and Take It Live.
Yep. That's over on the east. That's actually real close to my house.
Yeah, that's a cool place.
Yeah, it is a
It's
cool
got
little
all-
place.
Good inside of it, and yeah,
Yeah.
who'd you play with in there?
Thunderstruck.
Okay, right on.
So
We did a whole tour.
are you still playing with Thunderstruck as well as Hairball, or are you just full-time
No.
Hairball now?
Full-time
Okay.
Hairball. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no time to do both. There's
Oh,
just,
of course.
it's just the Hairball is all consuming, so and that's fine with me because I get to just kind of lay back and kind of just chill out and enjoy the ride,
Yeah.
so and the guys are awesome and it's a lot of fun and we laugh a whole lot, so it's a
that's
good
good.
time.
That's good.
That's you just nailed it on the head right there, because everyone thinks the big reward is the show, which the show's amazing, and yes, it is a reward, but really the journey to the show, it's the backstage hangs and the funny stories on the bus.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all about the brotherhood. It's all about hanging with your brothers and enjoying each other's company, and we do that a lot, and you laugh a lot.
Of
So
course.
why wouldn't you? We're blessed to be able to do what we do.
Amen. I think laughing keeps you younger as well,
Mhm.
so I try to laugh as much as I can.
I do that every day. Every
There you
day.
go.
So
Speaking of brother, I'm sorry, Rob.
No.
I was cutting
No.
you off.
I-
I was gonna say, I mean, just seeing you Saturday, I mean, you guys have to have a little past. So I was curious, like, kind of how the gig came about, and like how long you guys known each other, or if it was just kind of like instant connection, because you guys were on Saturday, like having a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, I didn't know none of these guys before I joined, not a one of them. And I've been in the band for a month, a little over a month. But when you're dealing with professionals, like you're dealing with in Hairball. Um, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I've been around professional musicians my whole life. I mean, it's just who I play with and what I do. I'm just used to it. These guys are over the top showmen, over the top professional on stage, off stage. Uh, so it was, we rehearsed twice. When I joined the band, we rehearsed twice, and we were out touring and getting everything together. And but what you see up there was probably 7 shows in, and we're just, we're starting to click pretty good. It's starting to come together really good. But when you got singers like Chris Vox, and you got singers like Joe Dandy, and you got guitar players like Happy, and drummers like Billy, and bass players like HBK, I mean, it's here's the mic, go out there and just be good, or go out there and have some fun. And I mean, why wouldn't you? Those guys are just so good at what they do, and they make my job incredibly easy. I don't have to worry about nothing. It's just it's like playing with the best NBA team or best pro football team out there, and or the best baseball team, knowing you're going to hit a home run every time you walk up to the plate, because they're that good. So it's pretty awesome, man. But yeah, I knew none of them up until about a month and a half ago.
Wow. Instant brotherhood.
Yes, very much so. A mutual admiration society. Everybody's got a lot of miles on them, and have done a lot of big things, a lot of great things. And they're professional as professional gets. It just doesn't get, they just know what they're doing.
That's awesome, man. Good for you.
Thank
Incredible.
I would have thought for sure you would have known 1 or 2 people in the band, at least.
Oh,
but
no,
that's crazy.
I really didn't know. I didn't know Chainsaw. I didn't know Happy or Billy or HBK or Chris or Joe. I knew nobody. So whenever I joined, it was definitely a leap of faith, and doing a little bit of research and finding out about the band and the product and everything. And once I did, I was like, wow, this is a really, really good product, and I want to be a part of it. And I have zero regret or doubt in my decision, because of who these gentlemen are. They're phenomenal. Everybody in the band's phenomenal.
Man.
So how did they find you? Did they?
Do what?
So how did they find you? I'm guessing because you were playing in Thunderstruck, they heard you and were like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that would be correct. The information that I got from them was that their previous singer, who was phenomenal, had left the band, and he was the one that did the raspy voices and those things, like the AC/DC, like the Quiet Riot and the Cinderella and things of that nature that are, an acquired ability to sing. You have to be able to do those things. But they went online and they got a few, they started asking people if they knew anybody of this, in this band or that band or whatever. And then my name just kept popping up, and they looked online and they found me with Thunderstruck, and they gave me a call, and one thing led to another. And then I ended up on a plane coming to Minneapolis, and then in a rehearsal room, and then now I'm doing the Zoom call with you guys. So
hell yeah, we'll take that all day.
I mean,
yeah, that's what it worked out.
There you go. Your career is just doing this.
Yeah. Now that you're on here, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's what I said whenever I got the phone call for this. I went, well, these guys are going to think that they can't look me in the eye anymore because I'm on your all show. I was like, well, it ain't like that.
And well, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
In fact, you now get the back room in the bus. That's all yours. No bunk for you.
Yeah, you and HBK, because both of y'all have been on here.
Yeah,
so.
Well, we don't like to brag,
Well, we can make everyone real jealous, and when we get Rock Detention T-shirts, or I was on Rock Detention T-shirts, you and HBK will be the only two who have them.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's all we can
will
afford.
wear them.
That's hysterical. How is HBK? Do you keep in touch with him?
He's great. I just
Right
got
on.
off the phone with him. He just got married to his beautiful wife, Haley.
Oh,
And,
congrats.
wonderful, wonderful ceremony. We had a great reception afterward. Man, I couldn't be happier for those two. It's awesome. Brian's just he's a peach, man. I love him. He's a
So
great guy.
I'm curious to know, like, what was the wedding like? Was it an 80s metal inspired wedding or totally traditional?
Oh, yeah. It had spikes and leather and whips and and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That is
It was
awesome.
great.
Wait, are you being funny or are you serious? There were whips?
Yeah, strippers and donkeys. Some
Okay,
midgets,
okay.
some midgets again.
And Vince Neil
hot
did
candy,
Vince Neil sang.
It was great. It was no, seriously though. It was a beautiful ceremony, and I'm just happy for both of those two. It's
That's
pretty
awesome.
awesome, man.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're watching HBK, congratulations to you and your wife from Rock Detention.
Ditto.
Congrats, buddy.
Was there live music? Was there a band playing?
Yeah, afterward we went to I forget the name of the place. Again, I'm not from here, so I a lot of this stuff gets lost on me. But Chris
Rockwood.
Fox, yeah, Rockwoods, yes. Okay, there you go. Appropriately named. And Chris Fox was playing, and if you haven't seen his acoustic set, that's amazing. Like he's got 52 pedals, and he's got programmed drums, and he does the actual song. He's a one-man band, so
Who is this?
amazing. Chris Fox. He's one of the singers in Hairball.
Okay.
You have to see it. It's amazing.
Wow. And it sounds huge, even with one person?
Yes.
Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah, he does an incredible job. It's a different take on an acoustic gig for sure, but he does everything. It's insane, and it's all him. Like all the stuff that is pre-recorded is him pre-recording it, and he did all the vocals and he did all the layering and all that stuff, and he sings with an acoustic guitar to himself, and a bunch of stuff. It's amazing. You just have to see.
Very
it.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it. Love it.
So, you said that you're going, as it goes along, they're going to add more characters, and whatnot. Who are some of the characters that are potentially coming up?
Well, I know that I'm going to be doing Alice Cooper. I know that I'm going to be doing Gene Simmons at some point. I got a bass player background, so that's going to be great to get to play bass again on stage. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. But I get to play guitar with Tom, so that's so those are the two right now. There's some other stuff that we're talking about doing. There's some wild stuff that a lot of
So something happened to your audio there. It completely cut out. It was as if someone turned all the EQs down except for the high.
Cool effect.
Where was I at? What was I loud about? I was loud about something.
I don't know.
I think the last thing I heard was Gene Simmons.
Yeah, there was a Gene Simmons. You're gonna be playing bass again, so you're happy to be doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing bass again because I do have a bass player background.
There it is.
There it is. You're back.
That's where I come from. Really, that's what I did for the longest time was play bass guitar. So I get to play bass again, and that's very appealing to me. And of course the Alice Cooper, and then we got a few other tricks in the bag that we're talking about doing. So we'll see where it ends up.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. I'm gonna need to come up and see one of these shows because we've got cover bands here in Austin, but I would say that the most put together and well-defined cover band would be a group called the Spasmatics.
I know of those guys. Yeah, a good friend of mine, Scott Moughton, he was actually in Operation Mindcrime. Jeff Tate's
Nice.
Jeff Tate's band, and he does one-offs with the Spasmatics.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of rock stars are a part. It's called Perfect World Entertainment, and they have Spasmatics, Metal Shop, Boogie Nights. Like they pimp out. That's to make in layman's terms. They put bands together and they put them out there and do residencies and whatnot. It's genius, And yes, I'm not gonna name any names, but there are like actual rock stars that when they're not on tour, they're dressing up in boogie outfits or dressing up as nerds and doing the Spasmatic. It's really cool. I think it's great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, everybody's got to work,
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Dude, I will gladly dress up like a nerd and do silly dances.
I dress up like a nerd every day.
Dude, I told Robin years ago, I'm like, dude, you need to look into doing the Spasmatics. Like, you fit the part. You just would show up in normal clothes.
And it's all the music that I really like too from the 80s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
I've always said, once I hit 35, 36, it'll be a look at my life and go, okay, what am I doing? Is my career path going the same way that I thought it was going to go? And if not, take a left.
Puberty.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, shut up. I've been drinking since 1 o'clock. I'm kidding.
Well, there's.
I'm kidding. I started at 4:30. But yeah, if I hit 35, 36 and I'm still playing, small bars here in Austin, yeah, I'll definitely look into a group like the Spasmatics or bigger, to do something. But yeah, I like my original music. I like what I'm writing. I like what I'm doing. So I want to see that through and see if I can get there. But
and you should, young man. That's the way to go right there. You follow, you beat that horse until it dies.
Yeah,
and
then you keep beating it a little longer.
Yeah, you keep beating it, Robin.
Yeah, exactly. Keep beating it, Robin.
There you go.
We're rooting for you.
Yeah. Oh.
God, this is taking so many turns.
I was gonna make a joke, but I was like, I don't want this show to get canceled.
Oh, dude, we got canceled a long time ago.
We almost made it to 40.
Absolutely.
2 episodes.
Now, did you ever do earlier in your career? Did you ever get into the original side of things?
Oh yeah, I've done a lot of original stuff. I've almost been signed several times, most notably by Gene Simmons himself.
Right on.
So that was a process. I've been in a lot of bands, a lot of things didn't work out, and then I've been in a lot of stuff that did. But that's the part of being in music. There's no straight line to success. There's no. It's definitely a jagged. You just gotta have some serious faith, belief, and balls to do what we do for a living.
Yeah.
And not listen to any of the haters because they're everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I did originals for the longest time, but I realized a long time ago that about 35 or 36 that a lot more people would pay me to see me be somebody else than to be myself. So I was like, well, okay, whatever it takes, man. I'm playing music.
Yeah.
Amen.
I went to college for a little bit to do the whole music degree thing and whatnot, and I've got books on the music business, and I was finally, and I always sit there in the back of my head. I always knew it was like, like what you said, it's a jagged line. There is not a clear way to do this. There's not a defined, like if you want to be a lawyer, you go to college, then you go to, law school, and then you
go to lawyer school.
Yeah, you go to lawyer school, and then you join a firm. You do some pro bono work, and then you finally work your way up to partner. And there's a clear defined line to do that. And I'd sit there and I'd talk with all these guys who have been successful in the industry, and they tell me, all that same bullshit thing of just like, well, you got to practice, you need to just get out there and play. And I'm like, well, yeah, duh. Those are two very common things, we know that. And finally, I was at NAMM one year, and this bass player friend of I used to work at a recording studio, and my boss who owned the studio this is a friend of his, and he said, man, no one's gonna tell you the truth. He's like, I can tell you how I made it. I can tell you that like I practiced my ass off and went and sat in a jam one night, and Joe Zawinul saw me and was like, I want you to come play, kind of a thing. And he's like, that's how it worked for me. But he's like, there's no way to do this. It doesn't exist. It's music.
Well, I can tell you, you're exactly right. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to persistence and time, and that's it. And if you put in time and you put in the effort, there's still no guarantee that anything's going to come to you. But I tell a lot of people all the time, when people were moving out west, they had wagons, and on those wagons, they'd get as far as they could, and when the wagon broke, they'd take the wheel and they'd stick it in the ground, and that was their house. They wouldn't even concern themselves with replacing the wheel. They would just quit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of broken wagon wheels on the way to this, to get to where we're going.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going. You got to figure out a way to keep going. And a lot of people quit because it's too hard. Well, a lot of things are hard, but it's how bad you want it.
Right.
And you're going to be faced with a lot of adversity. A lot of things are going to happen to you, and a lot of it's not good. You're going to get ripped off. You're going to get shit on. You're going to get, talked about. You're going to get laughed at. You're going to get, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, but at the end of the day, if that's what you really, really want to do, that's really where your heart is.
Yeah.
Fuck anybody that don't like it. They can suck it.
Well, that was kind of
keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. When other people quit, you keep going. And that's what happens. Here I sit at 50 years old, and I'm touring the country with a large-scale arena project.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I didn't quit going.
Right.
Everybody, you gotta keep going. You're going to get your ass smacked. It's going to happen. Nobody sitting here hasn't had it happen. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to happen again. And you just got to know how to handle that. And if you can have the fortitude and faith and the belief in yourself, keep going, then good things can only come from that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amen to that.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Words of wisdom with Dave Moody.
Yeah, it's true.
I think one of the big humbling things for me is, a lot of, I had all these bands that I really looked up to as a kid. You discover, Dream Theater, and then you discover, Van Halen, and you discover all these bands that were fairly young when they got their start. And as I've grown older, I've started to know, you do more research into those bands, and you start learning about, like, okay, well, who is the producer on that band, and who is the, who is the, the guitar player on Linda Ronstadt's album, and like, all that kind of stuff. And that's when you start learning about people like Steve Lukather, who was basically Michael Jackson's studio guitar player for everything, bar a few different tracks, and you learn about all these guys, and then you start to realize it's like, yeah, these guys didn't start really making it until they were in their late 30s, early 40s. Right. And, they're sitting there, and it's like all the way up to that point in time, they're just sitting there, nose to the grindstone, just trying to make ends meet, and then finally it clicks, or they get this one thing that just moves them forward. And
you're exactly right, and I say it all the time. There are those that are humble, and there are those that are about to be.
Yeah.
And the people that aren't, well, they're about to be. And everybody gets smacked down, bro. You just got to keep going. and the Steve Luthikers and the session players like that are amazing, amazing players, and they're the ones that make those records sound so good. But we can't measure success on fame. We can't measure success. I mean, you can, but that's kind of surface level shit. You got to measure it by, are you making a living playing music?
Yeah.
And you brought up bars a little while ago. I'll play a fucking bar. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll play it. Give me some money. If it's going to feed my family, I'll damn sure do it.
Yeah.
Again, there are people that are humble and there are people that are about to be.
Right.
And sometimes that's what you have to do. But the key, the whole thing, is to keep going.
Right.
Because you got to stay ready. You got to stay prepared, and you got to stay available, because you never know when you're going to get a phone call from Hairball to tour the country.
Yeah.
You never know. And if I wasn't ready, and if my chops weren't up to par, they wouldn't have called me.
Yeah.
It was just me staying ready and available that did it. So that's the wisdom, if I can, to impart upon you young fellas there.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. Like I was like Hairball deep conversation of yeah.
Well, no, I dug it. Usually I'm the deep one, so it was nice to hear someone else get deep, you know? Really? I'm on a show with a bunch of children.
Yeah.
If I was to show people the text messages that go on, everybody would look at us as children.
Stop. Dude, I'm probably gonna have to get a new iPhone because of our text thread. I'm almost out of memory.
It's too late.
Yeah. Like,
oh my gosh.
just go through and delete. Like, you won't offend me if you delete our personal text message thread to save the Rock Detention thread. Like,
dude, I can't delete any of them. All like the threads. I've got threads on here from like 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh man,
Wow.
about every year I go through and I just go all the way down to the bottom, and it's like, all right, if it's over 2-3 years old, that's out. You know, I've saved.
I don't know. What if I want to look something up?
That's true. If you're gonna fight, be like, well, actually.
Oh god. I dated a girl that did that. That was a weird.
Did what?
Like, would literally, I would say something and we'd get into an argument, and she'd be like, "Actually, hold on," and she would scroll through the text messages.
God.
And I was just like, "Oh, good lord."
Guys, I do not see how you all date at all in this day and age. I don't get
Hey
it.
Zach, how is how is it in this day and age?
It's wonderful.
It's
interesting.
No way.
Well, that's why
There's too much out there and just insanity. I just don't see how y'all do it. It's crazy.
I'm very fortunate, very lucky, but previously, like growing up here, and I'm sure Zach and Rob would get attest to this. I guess unless you're talking like the old Blockbuster, like corded phone days, this first start dating in like grade school and stuff, maybe a little bit better dating, but the more technology there is, like, it used to be just you go to the bar or you go to somewhere and be like, I like you, you like me, cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what dating apps have like taken the place of. You don't, instead of going to the bar and looking at someone across the room and going, yeah, no, I'm gonna go approach them, I'm gonna go talk to them. You just look at your phone and you're like, yeah, no, yes, no. Like, it's just weird. Like
You man,
and it's like before so I've been very fortunate. I've been dating my wonderful girlfriend for 5.5 years now. She actually lives in Ohio as well, and but before that, I did Tinder for all of like 2 months, and I felt so weird about it. You know, like every time you'd match with someone and then you'd go like meet them for dinner or something, and you're just like, it's a crapshoot. You have no idea if this person is actually crazy, or if their photos.
Yeah, they are.
Robin, it's really easy.
Yes.
No, you just find the girls that in the bio it says I'm not crazy. It's that simple.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're not crazy. Yeah, if they say that, they're not crazy.
Well, and the thing that drove me nuts over all of it, and it was the one thing that, like, the reason why I wouldn't, I for the longest time was like, I'm not going to do these dating apps. It's dumb. People, it's a photo. They can Photoshop it. Like, I don't know if that's the person I'm actually going on a date with. And twice I had that actually happen, where you sit there and you swipe right and you start talking to him. You're like, oh yeah, this seems like a nice person. Blah blah. You go to dinner. You're like, you are not the person in your pictures. Like,
you end up meeting up with Zach. Like,
Man, I'm so thankful to be married. You have no idea. Oh my God, yes.
Is your wife in the music industry?
I could be missing something, but I doubt
You're
that
not
I
missing
am.
anything.
But good luck.
You're not missing anything.
Good. I know.
Is your wife in the music industry?
Well, yes. I mean, because of me, by proxy. But she manages everything about me. I mean, if she tells me what to do, she gives me my mark. She keeps me straight. You know what I'm saying? Keeps everything in order. I got a lot going on.
Sure.
She points me in the right direction. So
that's good.
Without her, I would truly be lost. Yes.
Babe, if you're watching, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I could use someone to help me with all that stuff.
Dude, we just hit the 69-minute mark.
We hit the what? No, we didn't.
Oh, the 59-minute mark. My bad.
Yeah, Jesus.
My bad.
So we've got another viewer question, and actually, it's two questions. So it said, do you guys have any crazy green room requests, like green or yellow Skittles, or beer have to be, stored exactly at 35 degrees? Do you guys have anything like that on your writer?
No. We're pretty boring. We get a deli tray, some fruit, which is a big hit for Brian. Brian's a big fruit guy. Brian likes to jump on that. And then we get a deli meat tray, a fruit tray, and then we get a vegetable tray.
Nice.
And then we get a handful of drinks, and then we get lunch. That's when we arrive, and then we get lunch. And then after sound check, we get dinner probably around 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And then we get done with the show, and after the show, we eat. So it's kind of like there's food there all day if you want it. I usually don't eat on the day of the show. I usually wait till after the show because I got to sing.
I do the same thing when I sing.
You don't even eat breakfast?
I eat breakfast and I eat before lunch, and then after that I'm fasting until like 11 o'clock.
So I do the same thing when I sing.
I got a 50 bro, and I'm 50. What are you talking about? I can't eat.
So when I'm doing a show and I'm singing, I'd usually about 5-6 hours before the show, I just don't eat anything. It's just liquids at that point because shit gets stuck in my throat when I'm trying to sing. Like if I eat right before the show and like say I get like a burrito or something from Chipotle, I'll be sitting there and like 2 songs in, I start feeling like a grain of rice in my throat. And I'm just like, ugh.
It sounds like you're not chewing well,
Yeah,
so you've got other issues.
Just say first of all, grain of rice is quite... So,
dude, I've got a chew doctor I can send your way.
Oh my god.
Please do, yeah, send him there.
I chew my food, but it just gets anyways.
Ears, nose, and throat, and chew.
Oh
that's the fourth specialty.
Yeah.
That they don't.
And then the other question was any bad first date experiences?
Oh my god. Jeez.
Who asked that?
Jeff Huth. Huth.
Oh my
Huth.
god.
Okay, good.
My god. It's been so long since I've dated. I've been married for almost 15 years. I can't. Yeah, I would say yes, but I can't really remember them. Probably because I was liquored up, but that's okay.
Best kinds of first dates. I had a girl on a first date. We were talking, and she started going off on this diatribe of what a real job was, and I hadn't told her what I did for a living. But she gets to a point where she's like, and don't even get me started on musicians. That's not a real job. That's just totally like someone who doesn't want to grow up. And then she, like, without missing a beat, just stops, looks at me and goes, "So what do you do?" I was just like, well, I am a musician.
Dude, at that point, I would have said, separate checks, please. Like, car.
Oh, it was one of those like Seinfeld couldn't have written a better moment. Of just that awkward thing. It was fantastic.
Did she turn a different shade?
She was embarrassed, but it was very quick after that point. The date pretty much ended, like within the next 20 minutes. It was very quick that it just dissolved.
Did you get a nice handshake in afterwards? Pleased to meet you.
No. I think literally I think I paid for dinner and was like, cool, but bye. Like,
gar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No late night. What's it called? Nightcap? Is that what it is after dinner?
Yeah. If you go to dinner and then you go out to dance or whatever, and then at the very end of the night, you go back home. You go home for a nightcap.
Okay.
And you have
right
a wine or something. I don't know.
Robin's never had one, so he doesn't know.
He's Googling what is a nightcap.
I was the one that just explained it to y'all.
I know, but we love giving you crap.
I know you do. So, anyways.
Before I forget, guys, random question for you, Dave. We got a buddy who was former guest on the podcast, Mr. Daniel Knight. Said
Daniel.
Yeah.
How do you know
That's
Daniel Knight?
You all have no idea how much I love that guy. That is my brother right there. That is my man.
Oh, where is he? He was sitting there texting us earlier.
He's probably in LA.
Well, no, he was texting us earlier saying he's like, oh man, I should join in. I should crash that phone call.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I love
it.
I love D, man. He is such a wonderful human being, and the stories he and I could tell would probably land us in jail. I'm not even going to.
Well,
so why don't you go ahead and tell some of those stories?
Yeah, I mean,
we've got some of Daniel's after a little.
He's the best. I love D. That is my man,
dude. So we've he's been on the podcast twice now, and after both episodes, I think we hung out on Skype for another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. The first night, I think the first night it was like he jumped on an hour before the podcast. We talked on the podcast for 2.5 hours, and then afterwards it was 2.5 more hours, to a point where my roommate actually texted me. He was like, "Dude, are you going to bed? It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. What are we doing?" So
that's hysterical.
Yeah, D's easy to talk to, man. He is. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. I love that guy. I love him.
We'll have to have both of y'all back on, and we'll do, get y'all to do some story swaps.
No, you all wouldn't get any words in.
That's fine. We'll sit back. We'll mute our mics. Just let y'all go.
Now, TJ actually ended up hanging out with Daniel, 3 or 4 weeks ago in
about
Minneapolis?
a month ago. Yep. Jimmy's Dive Bar in Northeast. Great dive bar.
All in Minneapolis?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Was he home? Or did he come home?
He was back for a little bit. I think working on a show coming up.
I see his mama or something.
Right on.
Does his mom live there? Does his mom live here?
I know he's got a buddy here now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, his mom might be in Illinois still, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
I've not met his mom yet or his sister, but that's going to change here soon because I'm here. I'm going to make him come and take me to meet his mom and his sister.
Oh, that's official. You're meeting the family.
Oh yeah. I love them, man. Good people, all of them.
Well, the reason I brought TJ hanging out with him last month, y'all, I imagine y'all had a few DK pours, correct, TJ?
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of these crazy stories that could, supposedly put them in jail, did he reveal any fun stories that night? You don't have to tell him. I'm just curious if
he did.
You say whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
If he did, I don't remember him already. So.
All right.
Those DK pours.
How was it? What? So that's one thing I never quite understood. What exactly is a DK pour? Like he explained it on the show, but I was
it's his local bar. Like instead of like some people get like a double shot or something. Like it's just like a glass full of whiskey, pretty much, and a few ice cubes.
Oh god.
So like 5 shots.
Sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I don't drink it. I don't drink anymore. But when I did, I'm totally shocked that there's anything left for any of you all to drink the way me and Daniel drank. It was
That's hysterical.
We were animals. But he's a man. They don't come much better than him.
Amen. He's wonderful. We've gotten really close with him really quickly, and he is good folk.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
And so are you, Dave.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And let's see here. I think we're like 30 seconds away from the 69 mark.
There you go. Yes.
Nice.
We'd go all night, but it looks like you're losing sunlight, and we like to keep our 69 mark.
Okay.
And
I think Robin has to get back to his game.
I've got to get back to my club, so I say my club. Someday I hope to own it. Right now I'm just helping to make sure the sound system's working. So
Robin runs the joint.
I want to thank you all for having me on. I really do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun, and you guys keep doing what you're doing. Remember what I said. Going.
Keep it going.
We need you guys, because you all are the next. You're the defenders of the faith. You're the guys that are going to keep it going.
There you go.
So we need you all. We need you to save rock and roll.
Yeah.
We're doing our part. Your part.
So Robin, grow out your hair, Robin.
No.
That's what he's saying.
No, there's our band name, Defenders of the Faith. There you go.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
So-
I love it. Well, Mr. Dave, thank you so much for being here. It was an absolute pleasure hanging with you, and I hope we keep our text thread going, because that's been a lot of fun. For all of you watching, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to go find Dave and Hairball and go see them, because it really is an incredible show from what I've seen on video, and I'm going to definitely go see. I don't know why I said that. I'm definitely going to go see them live as soon as I can. Y'all have a blessed week. Again, thanks for tuning in. TJ.
Dave, thanks again. It was a pleasure meeting you in person briefly on Saturday. First of many times, I'm sure.
I hope you enjoyed the show and the newness that is Hairball now, and the product. I hope you enjoy. So.
Hairball keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like I saw them small clubs 10, 12, 13 years ago, whatever it was, and keeps getting bigger, and it's like you guys haven't skipped a beat, and it looks like you guys have been playing together for forever, so it's awesome. Just keep rolling, and to everyone else, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Love you all. Thank you, Dave. Over to you, Robin.
Hey, this was a lot of fun, Dave. Thanks for coming on. This was always a pleasure, and I'm definitely going to need to get up to Minneapolis or wherever the heck y'all are on the road and come see y'all, because the videos look great, and TJ's done nothing but hype up Hairball since we met. So we'll have to make a whole road trip or a plane trip. All three of us need to go see a show somewhere and do that. If you're tuning in for the first time, follow us on Instagram, like us on YouTube. Please go
subscribe on YouTube.
Whatever, just click the button. There's
like
a button.
On Facebook.
There's
all the boring advertising.
Yeah, all the boring advertisement crap. Like, it helps us grow so we can keep having awesome people like Dave Moody on here. So, and if Hairball is coming to a town near you, go see them. And follow them. They've got an Instagram, Hairball Online. You can find them on Facebook and everywhere. Yes, those are automatic Nerf guns. And
for none of you wondering.
No. I'm not even going to say for those of you wondering anymore, because I just arbitrarily know that people are going to look in the back of my screen and go, what are those?
Nope. People just said, I see orange plastic, and left it at that.
Well, it's awesome orange plastic, and it helps me keep me young. Keep me a kid inside. So,
okay.
All right. Well, in this case, class dismissed. Nope, it's not done yet.
Is this thing still on?
Okay, doesn't mean you can speed up the song either.
It's done.
Okay, it's done.